As the party, UPN, a passionate progressive, a lover of his people, and above all, a person who pursued whatever he believed in. Whatever he believed in with commitment and dedication. I will say this was why this attribute of him, that was why he was able to overcome all the obstacles against his government when he was in power. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
Thank you very much, Asiwaju Olorunfunmi. Mr. Governor, Your Excellencies, all other proxies duly extended. Next, I will invite a distinguished historian of repute, Honorable Adekunle Ali. Let's applaud Baba. A round of applause for him.
Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, and his able wife, the First Lady of the state, all protocol observed. My speech is going to be very short because I got to know of this invitation to speak at this tribute paying ceremony here today. I don't know where to start because my life in Jakande was like elephants. When you stand in one place, you don't know the whole size of this elephant. And so what we have heard today and read in the paper, I am not going to repeat all this again because my association with Jakande began when I was elected to the House of Representatives in 1979. I remember in 1981, the then governor, the LP governor, led by the late Shehu Shagari, introduced a bill to the House, to the National Assembly for revenue allocation between the federal, state, and the local governments. And under this bill, it was only revenue coming in mainly from the oil and the revenue generated from personal income tax of federal civil servants were allocated to the federal government, and the others were not allowed to share in this revenue. So, Jakande wrote a letter to all of the members of Lagos State in that assembly, trying to find out what was going on. I served as a member of the Revenue Committee. So I wrote a 12-page memo to him, in which I described what we know as the information relating to our revenue. And in reply, he sent me a letter under the letterhead of Lagos State Government, dated 6th of April 1982. I read, Chief Lateef Adekunle House of Representatives, National Assembly, Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos. My dear 2023, federally collected revenue. I have just read your brilliant paper on the above-named subject. I shall certainly take all necessary actions suggested in the paper. At our last meeting, the 12 governors decided to write a joint letter to the President. I shall send you a copy of the letter when I have it, with kindest regard, signed Jakande. Now, because of shortage of time, I cannot continue with my tribute, but I'll make a short reference to what is not known to most of the people here. That was the period of his incarceration in the prison in Lagos. After about a month, there was removed to different places. I mean the detainees. And he was sent to Sokoto prison. I was a major channel of the communication between him and the whole world at that time. I sent him cuttings from papers and stories which I also had. He was very appreciative of this, and as a result of this, he decided to write a book because unemployment was the rage of the society at this time. Then he started to work on what he called full employment for all Nigerians. I believe this book is yet to be published. Perhaps it will be published after his passing. But what I can say about it is that the problem of the country is evermore present in the mind of Alhaji Jakande done in his lifetime. And I think with this tribute is not short of what should have been to him. But I pray that his departure will bring a brighter Nigeria, and that his family and some of those who associated or are served with him will continue to follow the path he laid behind. So I rest myself. Thank you very much.
Please can we applaud Honorable Adekunle Awi. Thank you very much, sir. Going on with tributes to Alhaji Lateef Jakande, I'd like to call on Special Advisor to Mr. Governor and Chieftaincy Affairs. Please put your hands together as I welcome Prince Bayo Oshiemi for his tributes. Please can we applaud Prince Oshiemi?
Mr. Governor, sir, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, former governors of Lagos and Ogun here present, Deputy Governors of Lagos and Ogun here present, in public office. I'm therefore not going to bore you repeating what they had said. There are three things for which Alhaji Jakande stood out as personal attributes. One, he was a man of honor. He believes that once you take honor away from a man, he's left with nothing. And that was why he faithfully implemented the 4 cardinal programs of the Unity Party of Nigeria that sponsored him into office. Before his inauguration, the outgoing military administrator advised him to go back to the people and say that given the situation on ground, he could no longer implement free education. Alhaji Jakande's reply can bear repetition here. He thanked the military administrator and said no man of honor would dare do such a thing. A two-way contract, one side had been performed. For him to renege on that promise will make him dishonorable. He will not do so. And on his inauguration on Monday, October 1, 1979, he declared free education throughout Lagos State and did all the other things. Another aspect of a man of honor that Alhaji Jakande was and still is, at his inauguration, he did say that his administration will take a holiday from ministering to the rich, that previous governments had served only the rich people of this state, and that he will take a holiday from them and first attend to the mass of our people. He did so in the provision of low-cost houses, full employment, and free health services. He was to implement his plan for the rich in his second term, but this was aborted by the military incursion into governance. But he did fulfill that promise to the rich when he became the Federal Minister for Works. He visited somewhere in Ikoyi and saw a horse-shaped island and decided that hydraulic sampling would be done so that the place now became the shape of a banana. And that is how Banana Island came into being. His idea was that he was going to create an event for the rich so that while alive, they will see and enjoy heaven on earth. Today, not many people know that the originator of Banana Island is Lateef Jakande. There is a nexus between the first civilian governor of Lagos State and the present governor of Lagos State. The nexus is this. Because Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is people's-oriented, he assigned his chief of staff to pay a visit to Alhaji Jakande's home immediately after his election to see the state of his abode. And I think he immediately directed on receipt of that report from the chief of staff that some renovation should take place at 2 Bishop Street in Ilopeju. It was done. Also, because like Alhaji Jakande, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has passion for education. He has also taken steps to ensure that one of the children of Alhaji Jakande is sponsored by the state to undergo a master's degree in the United Kingdom. I believe that Jakande cannot die because he lives in the hearts of the people. And I'm sure, given the footsteps that Sanwo-Olu is treading, he is going to go down in history as another Baba Kekere of Lagos State. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Prince. I'd like to let you know what I forgot to say earlier, that he was the Chief Press Secretary to Alhaji Lateef Jakande while in office. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Governor, distinguished guests, all courtesies duly extended, we will now quickly run through the documentary on the life and times of the first civilian governor of Lagos State, Alhaji Lateef Jakande, CON.
A privilege of tutelage to be able to live. And I think what is happening will pay the price of independence. With the advent of democracy in the country and Lagos State, after years of military rule, it became apparent that the state, as the capital and seat of power of the giant of Africa, needed a focused and dedicated Democrat who will steer its ship to greater development. This Democratic planning board was Alhaji Lateef Jakande. The man who for only 4 years and 3 months, and almost 40 years after, his records, his hands are still clean, sign of time. Pictures of the mountain of leadership in the state are October 1st, 1979, on the platform of the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, making him the first executive governor of Lagos State. As a young and vibrant governor, and working with the template of the founding fathers of the state, Alhaji Lateef Jakande immediately formed his team and armed with the manifesto of the party embarked on massive infrastructure developments, which are still points of reference till today. As the governor of the state, he recorded manifests, and with a vision to improve the educational standard as well as make education accessible and affordable for the most privileged, his administration built many neighborhood primary and secondary schools, raising the primary schools in Lagos from 605 with 434,545 pupils to 812 with 531,001 pupils, as well as secondary schools from 105 with 107,835 pupils to 223 with 167,629 students. By 1983, they had constructed over 22,000 classrooms with a maximum of 40 students per class. At the base of the construction of these schools was the establishment of a single school system and free education for primary and secondary schools. And they needed all sorts of school classes and women without failing. The means to bring individual that will ever progressive to the point. He declared education free at all levels. That was at the time the military administration that he succeeded was advised by officials of the Ministry of Education to increase school fees when schools resumed in September 1979. But he had gone far and wide to campaign for people to elect him, and in return he would give free education. So on his first day in office, he declared education free for all children in school age, from primary to university level. Constructing new classrooms, which people call poultry shed. But I want the public to know that he was able to accommodate all the primary school pupils and secondary school pupils at that time. But of course, it became the foundation of many of the big schools which you found around it. So that shows his foresight. He built a set of classrooms to accommodate a large chunk of students. And then that sort of encouraged most of us and made people to go to school. And then even though we are many again, so people call those classrooms poultry. But it went back to scrap all the three shifts. And education system, which was three-shift system, at the time it came in May 1st, 1979, became three-shift system, and it did not affect the kind of education we got at that time. It was still qualitative, but they are the kind of classrooms that gave access to basic education to people like us, and then that made us where we are today. For it, he got a commendation from UNESCO, a letter, special letter written to him, and a plaque to acknowledge the fact that the man used an ingenious method to solve a very critical social problem. He also established a Lagos State University LASU, a Lagos State College of Education, and the Teacher Training College. His administration legalized the rising population of Lagos, which continued to attract people through provision of adequate and affordable shelter. He constructed over 30,000 housing units. These include Ijaye, Biafra, Okafa, Ije, Ebisu, Ekpuru, Ekpaja, Abuela, Ekpe, Amuwodofu, Ayakotoro, Surulere, Iba, Ikorodu, Agabri, Ishiromu, Orishibu, to mention a few. These houses were affordable for the common man and are still standing today. A testament to this achievement is that in the construction of these houses, values and standards were not compromised. To facilitate the mass transit, they introduced the Metro Line project. This was cancelled by the succeeding military regime. Also, the quest for a interior transport system led to the introduction of ferry services in 1980 with two passenger commercial boats christened Babakekere and Itafaji. These boats plied the Nile to marine route. Within the 4 years of his administration, he built the present Lagos State Secretariat, which houses ministries, departments, and agencies. MDAs, built the popular Royal House, which for a long time was occupied by subsequent governors till the movement of the office to the Lagos House. He also built the Lagos State House of Assembly. Third, waste disposal board, which is now Power Way. He created water operation, which is now called Water Management Board. He created Works Management Board, and the Schools Management Board to look after secondary and primary schools. What we now have is Subed and Teston. So we tried as much as possible to look at all avenues where the greatest good will be benefited by the entire citizenry. As a journalist, he brought his training to the fore with the construction of the Lagos State Television Channel 8 and Lagos State Radio. The radio has since given birth to other stations. Due to its recognition of the importance of protecting government and security documents, the administration took over the ownership and financing of the Lagos State Printing Corporation in 1980. The healthcare system of the state took a dramatic turn when its administration constructed 20 health centers and went a step further with the assurance and provision of free health care, while he saw to the completion of the Bagada and Jakande General Hospitals. Between 1979 and 1983, the administration of Lateef Jakande established the Water Management Board and the Waste Disposal Board on the 18th of August, 1980. With emphasis on providing potable water for the people, the administration constructed the ideal waterworks. This helped propel the water supply of the state to 18.16 million liters per day. He also expanded and modernized the Jew waterworks. The result of the expansion was an increment in the daily water production capacity from 159 million to 204 million liters per day. Added to this was the construction of 10 million waterworks.
I've been working on project. It's another bullet to the ratio to church that's the constructed and every water again related. That and that many of the works we are constructed in lots of different ways. So always all the governments supplied with powder water. There was a shortage of water in Lagos at that time. We started establishing water works so that the water will roll over and then we can be able to get water all over. Bariga, Abuja.
He created an new league for the state was the construction of Luttery Island Ekpo Road. His administration also constructed, rehabilitated, and resurfaced the Ekpe Ijebu Road, Evolution Ijebu Road, Obi Avenue, Time Way Iwopeju, Victoria Island Road, Toy Street Ikeja, amongst others. He established an asphalt plant for the Department of Roads. This asphalt plant has since been upgraded and is now known as the Lagos Public Works Corporation.
When we came to government, it's very fast. We used to go to the small people in the bush there. And we were still from the people from this in the bush there. And we kept on saying, we have to open this person. We have to open this person. We have to open this person. So we knew it. Even before we came to government, we were campaigning them. So when we got to the government, he said to me, and many others, of course, he said, it's still to open this road. When we started Lagos TV, we were jamming it. The federal government was jamming it. When we started Lagos TV, they were jamming it. The federal government was jamming it. Each time we wanted to produce, you see, our own would not show. It's the federal government one that we show. And then what do we do? What do we do? And we got somebody to bring in a special machine for us. We found a way to get that machine into the country. Because if they knew we were bringing the machine, they won't let it come. So we brought the machine to come. And we established, and that is why you have TV today.
In order to bring sanity to Lagos roads, Jakande's administration established the first state traffic management authority. To his credit, Lasako Insurance was established and also a small-scale industries credit scheme. With a strong quest for alternative medical care, his administration also scored a first with the establishment of the Traditional Medicine Board. In his short but eventful administration, Lateef Jakande touched every part of the state and ensured that none was left behind. His frugal lifestyle also came to the fore when he served his term as governor from his modest Ilupeju residence.
According to him, he said he came to the world for for ordinary people. We have a good man that is ready to help, and he helped till the end of his life.
He built schools. That is for the public too. Fortunately, I'm a beneficiary of this of the school. I wish I was beneficiary of the houses, or but the man would never agree. He has how many estates all over. None of us, none of the family would say, okay, I have one of these flats. It was about to start Banana Island then. I remember I was there when he was inspecting the site, when it was when he started. We have nothing there. And as my father used to say, you can only sleep on one bed at a time.
My brother was a very quiet boy from the youth. If you are playing with anybody around him and he said, hey, my brother will tell you, if I had that Orioda from you again, you will not come near me again. If he said someone else is not correct, that means it's finished with the person. It's not going to do anything with you. The only abuse you need to abuse is, don't do that again, Abo. You, Abo.
Is somebody, when about resuming, you have to make your list of what you want to buy in school. And it's somebody, and when you pass that list to him, what he does, it gives you a date to come and defend more of your proposal, what you intend doing. And he will actually screen one item by item. And the best you can do with him is questioning. Is the best you can get from what you are.
And he was a simple man, diligent, hardworking, and true lover of people. Alhaji Dr. Lateef Jakande was a great love for people. A man does not show favoritism to people due to their social status. He treated everyone equally. He never for once held back his hand to render people that come knocking weekday or weekend.
He was so outstanding in his own style that once he took his seat at say 9, 10 in the morning, he would not leave that seat until the meeting ended. So how did he cope? He was a fan of Tom Tom and Lemon Vicks. My guy at meeting will have his packet of Tom Tom. That sweet packet of Tom Tom in his pocket, and if he felt like refreshing himself, he would open it, throw one Tom Tom. So he was a tireless worker. A philosophy of life, that I would say the philosophy that was propelling all his action was this phrase that I'm going to give: to produce the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. Every time, that's what he would say. We must produce the greatest good for the greatest numbers of our people. All that we are saying is frugality, commitment, honesty, and sincerity. Alhaji Jakande had all that.
He was appointed Minister of Works by the military government, and as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he built the largest housing estate in Africa, Gwarimpa, and the Lugbe Housing Estate, both in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, while he started the Banana Island project. Popularly called Baba Kekere, Lateef Jakande was born in the Epetedo area of Lagos Island
on Monday 29th July 1929 to parents who were from Umuaro, Kwara State. He started his educational journey at Lagos Public School, Enowa, Lagos Island, and thereafter at Bonham Memorial Methodist School, Port Harcourt, between 1934 and 1943. He had a brief stint at King's College, Lagos in 1943, and later proceeded to Ilesha Grammar School in 1945. While in Ilesha Grammar School, he edited a literary paper called The Quarterly Mirror. This set the stage for his journalism career.
Press freedom is the touchstone of all the other liberties of the citizen, and therefore should be the concern of every human being. An attack on press freedom in any country derogates from the totality of press freedom in the world. All too often, media men in some advanced countries, because they were born into press freedom, adopt an attitude of indifference to encroachments on press freedom in other countries. All too often, media men in some developing countries resign themselves to the pernicious doctrine that their press cannot be free for reasons which are patently absurd and grossly illogical.
His thirst to further his journalism career led him to the print industry, where he started his career with the Daily Service in 1949. He later moved to the Nigerian Tribune in 1953. His dedication and hard work opened the door for a rapid career growth as he was appointed editor-in-chief in 1956. His zeal for greater challenges saw him leaving Nigerian Tribune to establish his own newspaper outfit named John West Publication, an outfit which produced the Lagos News. He later became the first president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN.
Yes, he established himself in the journalism profession as unique, as the first in so many things. First in the establishment, he joined in the establishment of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, in the Guild of Editors, and he was the first president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria. Of course, he moved from there, worked himself up on the media ladder, and became the first African, the first Nigerian to date, to become the president of the International Press Institute.
Jakande's passion to serve humanity led him into politics. He vied for the post of the executive governor of Lagos State under the platform of Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, an election he won and thus marked the beginning of his many firsts as the first executive governor of the state.
As a governor, he holds political clinic every day after office hours, where he listens to the complaints or suggestions or requests of people, of the citizens of Lagos.
Jakande is so open to people. Go to him anytime. You will see two pieces of paper on his table. One is a pad, one is a note. The note is where he will put down what you are asking him, which he wants to respond to. And one thing good about Jakande is that if the whole house is full of people who want to see him, he will sit and attend to everybody. You will come this way, you come this way. He said, what is your problem? What is your problem? If it's the one he wants to discuss with you, you will say, go and wait. If it's the one that he has to send you to somebody, he will go and do this.
When the military came back to power in Nigeria, Lateef Jakande was made Minister of Works under the late Sani Abacha regime, a post he held from 1993 to 1998. With the re-emergence of democracy, Vibrant Jakande became the first chairman of the Action Party of Nigeria, APN. In his lifetime, Lateef Jakande was a man of high integrity who was passionate about the development of Lagos State. This saw him recording many firsts as the governor.
There's no way one can say we beat his record.
His absence will be deeply felt. His death will create a vacuum in the state and in the hearts of the people of the state. His demise on Thursday, 11th February 2021 is indeed a loss to Lagos State, to Nigeria, and to humanity as a whole. Good night, LKJ. Adieu, Papa Kekere.
Mr. Governor, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to celebrate the life and times of an outstanding leader, Alhaji Lateef Jakande. Please let us lighten up a bit as we now have some band performance. First on the lineup, I will invite the standing troupe of the Lagos State Council of Arts and Culture to please go onto the platform and perform. You have 5 minutes.
standing troop. Thank you very much. Please, can we put our hands together for the standing troop of the Lagos State Arts and Culture? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your performance. Mr. Governor, all courtesies duly extended. Ladies and gentlemen, the next performance in honor of a man that touched all facets of life in Lagos State is coming from the Nigeria Police. The police band will be entertaining us for the next 3 minutes. The police band.
Ládùúrà tẹ dàǹgbà o, kádàgbà kádógbó. Ládùúrà tẹ dàǹgbà o, a ní kádàgbà kádógbó. Ládùúrà tẹ dàǹgbà o, kádàgbà kádógbó. Ládùúrà tẹ dàǹgbà o. Tàbádógbó tán, kọ́mọ rere ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn wa o. Kádàgbà kádógbó, ládùúrà tẹ dàǹgbà o. Àìgbọ́dẹ̀ wẹ̀ o, láti mú dẹ́kan lè bàbá rẹ̀ lé. Àìgbọ́dẹ̀ wẹ̀ Jakande o, bàbá rẹ̀ lé o. Àìgbọ́dẹ̀ wẹ̀ o. Òkúdà yìnbọn báwa wọmọ rẹ o. Lagos State wọ́n ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn bàbá o. Sanwó-Olú ó ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. Gbogbo leaders lẹ́kọ́ ló ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn bàbá o. Òkúdà yìnbọn báwa wọmọ rẹ o yẹlẹ. Àìgbọ́dẹ̀ wẹ̀. Mo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀rì lọ́wọ́. Àṣẹ bàbá jàjà lọ́lọ́. Jí láti Káyọ̀dé Jakande o. Bàbá jàjà lọ́lọ́. Lórí sókè méjì ìsàlẹ̀ jẹ́ o. Láti Jakande bàbá rèlé owó. Ó jọ̀wọ́ torí ọlọ́kọ̀ bá o. Ọmọ ṣẹjẹ lọ́lọ́lọ́jù torí bàbá wa tó relé.
Thank you. Thank you, the Nigeria Police Band. Thank you very much, the Nigeria Police Band. Thank you very much for the wonderful music. Thank you for the security and entertainment aspect of today's event. And the last celebration performance that we'll be having at this day of tribute will be coming from a group of young Nigerians, very dynamic, very creative, the Crown Troupe of Africa. You have 3 minutes. Thank you very much, Crown Troupe. Crown Troupe. The Crown Troupe of Africa, all in honor of Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande. A round of applause to them.
Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande was born on July 29, 1929.
July 29, 1929. Ẹni máa bímọ ẹni máa bímọ kò náwó ọmọ náà tèmi o, èmi á bímọ ẹni máa bímọ ẹni máa bímọ kò náwó ọmọ náà tèmi, èmi á bímọ ọmọ òwe ìpẹ́ dàgbà. Ọmọ òwe ìpẹ́ dàgbà. Ọmọ òwe ìpẹ́ dàgbà. Kékeré jùjù ló máa bí tèmi. Ọmọ òwe ìpẹ́ dàgbà. Kékeré jùjù ló máa bí tèmi. Ọmọ òwe ìpẹ́ dàgbà. He became a member of the first estate by beginning a career in journalism with his daily service since 1949. 4 years later, he joined the Nigerian Tribune in 1953 and was appointed chief by Chief Obafemi Awolowo 3 years later in 1956.
As an editor-in-chief, LKJ earned the respect of the colonial power with his factual and forthright editorial.
Jakande left the Nigerian Tribune in 1975 and established the John West publication, publishers of Lagos News.
Free education for primary and secondary levels.
Free health services, full and gainful employment,
and integrated rural development.
Baba Kekere introduced housing and educational programs targeting the poor, building of new neighborhood primary and secondary school where education was free of charge.
We are proud.
Ìpájọ́. Ikorodu
and Badagry.
He also completed the constructions of the general hospitals in Gbagada and Ikorodu and built about 20 health centers within the state.
Baba Kekere established 23 local government councils. He also established a metro line project to facilitate mass transit.
Of a great man, an epitome of selflessness,
in public service.
Tabasun, Tao Bajimo, Arami, Aralokuo, Tabatisun, Tao Dejimo, Aramio, Aralomaku, Tabasun,
Tao Bajimo, Arami, Aralokuo, Tabasun, Tao Bajimo, Arami, Aralomaku.
Jakande Tisun, Baba Dejimo, Baba Kekere Sun, Emma Jedide, Baba Tisun, Mo Dejimo, Rarao, Aramio, Aralomaku, Tabasun,
Tao Bajimo, Arami, Aralokuo, Tabasun, Tao Bajimo, Arami, Aralomaku.
What a Jakande, sleep well, Baba.
Oh, Baba, Onibere,
Sleep well, Baba.
oh, Baba, Onibere,
Baba, you are free from pains, you are free from sorrow.
oh, Baba, watch your children cry.
Baba, you are free from pains, you are free.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful performance, the Crown Troupe of Africa. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate them, please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Governor, sir, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are all here to celebrate impactful leadership, selflessness, pragmatism in governance, as demonstrated by late Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande when he ruled Lagos from 1979 to 1983. He had 4 cardinal programs as his mantra. Today in Lagos, a man is following their footsteps. If you talk about pragmatic leadership, he has it. If you talk about being impactful with the projects, we have it. If you talk about a leader who is selfless, he has it. Some weeks ago, former governor and national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, passed a vote of confidence on his administration at the inauguration of the dual carriage flyover in Agege. A couple of months ago, former governor and present Minister for Works and Housing described him as an action governor. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please let us rise as I formally invite the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, to address this gathering. Mr. Governor, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you very much. I think the performers, they deserve another round of applause. All of the great performance this afternoon, they deserve another round of applause. My school children, are you enjoying yourself? Please give yourself a big round of applause. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Mr. Prince Dapo Abiodun, here ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Our Excellency, Engineer Mrs. Noimot Oyedele, and her amiable husband, Chief Bode Oyedele. Thank you very much for coming. Our national leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, here ably represented by Honorable Tunji Bello, the First Lady of Lagos State and my wife, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. Thank you very much. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, and his amiable wife, Mrs. Oluremi Hamzat. The Chief Judge of Lagos State, Honorable Justice Kazeem Alugba, here ably represented by my Lord Honorable Justice Oyekon Abdullahi. Thank you very much for coming. Former governors of Lagos and Ogun, here present, retired but not tired, Brigadier General Buba Marua, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba. Thank you, sir, for coming. Former First Lady of Lagos State and the Chief Mourner, Alhaja Abimbola Jakande. Former Deputy Governors of Lagos State here present, His Excellency Prince Abiodun Ogunleye, Excellency Senator Kofo-Orola Bokno Akerele. Thank you very much, ma, for coming. Distinguished members of the National Assembly, past and present here, especially my Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, here ably represented by Mrs. Omolola Essien, Senator Gadniu Solomon, and other members of the National Assembly. The Oba of Lagos, His Royal Majesty Oba Rilwan Akiolu, here ably represented by the White Cap Chiefs, who I will acknowledge very shortly. Members of the Lagos State House of Assembly, past and present, here present. Members of the State Executive Council, here present, past and present. Chairman of our Statutory Commission, here present. Body of Permanent Secretaries, here present. Service chiefs that are in attendance at this event, especially the Commander 9th Brigade, Brigadier General Kanugawa, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Hakeem Odumosu, the Director of the DSS, Mr. S.M. Waziri, and Rear Admiral Ibrahim Aliu Shetima. Thank you all very much for coming. The chairman of our party, the All Progressive Congress, a one-time commissioner, a man that has just turned 70, brand new 70-year-old, looking young and able, Honorable Tunde Balogun, and other members of his state exco that are here present. Our fathers, members of the Governor's Advisory Council that are here in large number, led and headed by a one-time member of the House of Representatives, Prince Tajuddin Oluyole Olusi, Senator Anthony Adefuye, Ọmọọba Ṣósànyà Olúmúyìwá, Aṣíwájú Ọlọ́runfúnmi Báṣọ̀run, Dr. Abayomi Fini, Cardinal James Odumbaku, and Alhaji Mutiu Are. I acknowledge each and every one of you. Thank you very much for all of your support and staying with us. I acknowledge His Royal Majesty Oba Oyekon Adekanmi Ajose, the Alapa of Apa Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Ajibade Bakare Aguru, the Randonu of Imota, His Royal Majesty Dr. Mohammed Afolabi Ashafa, the Onijaniki of Ijaniki Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Lufolarin Ogunsanwu, the Alara of Ilara Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Owolabi Adeniyi Onisabe of Isabe, our White Cap Chiefs, the Opelua Onido of Lagos, Chief Waidi Yusuf Olorogun Agbaje of Lagos, Prince Ayodele Oyekon, the Bajulaye of Lagos, Chief Waidi Ayeni, the Shashore of Lagos, and of course, the Jakande of Lagos. I think that one deserves a round of applause. Our political leaders and fathers that are also here, Senator Olubi Durojaye, thank you very much, sir, for coming. Our religious leaders that are here with us, Chief Imam of Lagos, His Eminence Sheikh Sulaiman Abu Noah, Alhaji Sheikh Tijani Gbajabiamila, Alhaji Sheikh Alayaka, Alhaji Sheikh Mutiu Ogunbado, the chairman of CAN for Lagos State, Right Reverend Dr. STV Adegbite, the Apostle Daniel Olalekon, thank you all for coming. We acknowledge and will appreciate all of the support you have given to our government. Captains of industry that are here present, our market men and women that are here present, and all the other artisans, acknowledge and agree, each and every one of you. Our very supportive, dedicated public servants that are here, acknowledge you. Our dynamic students and pupils of Lagos State, for whom Alhaji Jakande stood for, fought for, and the credit that all of you and all of us are enjoying today, I acknowledge each and every one of you. Our various community leaders that are here, I acknowledge you. Very important members of the fourth realm, the gentlemen of the press, thank you very much for coming in large numbers. Thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we celebrate a great man. We celebrate a selfless leader. We celebrate a rare gem, a quintessential politician. We celebrate an administrator par excellence, the first civilian governor of Lagos State, the architect of modern Lagos, one of the leading disciples of the late sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande, Baba Kekere, a sobriquet he earned from taking after the late sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a man who lived a full life, a life rich, not in material things, but in the things that truly matter. A man that lived for integrity, a man that lived with honor, a man that served his people, and a man that had great character. Through his outstanding and unequal achievements, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande has definitely written his name in gold. He will continue to be remembered by generations as a reference point of good governance, by generation as a reference point for his strong welfareism, a visionary leadership, a selfless leader, a transformational leader, a true leadership of great example. One of the attributes of Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande that stood out to most people was his humility. He was never one to throw his greatness and clout around. He stayed simple and humble. At the tribute that we gave to him at the Lagos State Cabinet, you can see our modest example. In the cabinet of Alhaji Jakande, we had late Ba Hamzat. In the cabinet of Babajide Sanwo-Olu today, we have the son, in the person of the Deputy Governor, Dr. Kadri Obafe Hamzat. In the cabinet of Alhaji Lateef Jakande, we had late Alhaji Ganiu Daudu. In the cabinet of Babajide Sanwo-Olu today, we have his son, Mr. Olusegun Daudu. In the cabinet of Alhaji Jakande, we had the Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Bayo Oshiemi. In the governance and cabinet of Lagos State, we have a special advisor, Mr. Bayo Oshiemi. In the trajectory of Alhaji Jakande, where the likes of Baba Tajuddin Oluyole Olusi, Baba Bashorun Olorunfunmi, Baba Alebioshu, Alhaji Adekunle Ali, these are the same men that our cabinet are still using as members of our Governor's Advisory Council almost 40 years after, still keeping the torch and the tandem that Alhaji Jakande stood for. The height of his achievements will continue to light till the very end. Proud to his foray in politics, Alhaji Kayode Jakande had built a reputation for himself as an outstanding journalist, a fearless journalist, a journalist that people can truly rely on. He was widely celebrated for his ingenuity, his courage, his brilliance, all of which he demonstrated in his writings as editor-in-chief of the Nigerian Tribune, and as they've told us in his publication, and as John West, as a pseudonym that a lot of people would not know at that time. Alhaji Jakande achievements as executive governor of Lagos State within a very short period of 4 years and 3 months in 1979 to 1983 are well documented for prosperity. A careful analysis of the achievements, whether in education, in health, in housing for all, in public transportation, in environment, in infrastructure, or in agriculture. None of them will rival a leader that is shrewd in the management of resources, who has vision, who is selfless, who is disciplined, who is altruistic, who is passionate, and who is accountable. He truly demonstrated that the real essence of power is for the advancement of the welfare and the empowerment of the greatest number of people. He understood the power of education as the most potent weapon that can break the vicious cycle of poverty. He deployed it into a unique manner. You've heard speeches today where Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande crashed the educational system from 3 streams to a single stream. I was a beneficiary of all of those decisions. As a result of his passionate and unrelenting commitment to the implementation of the free education policy of his party, the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande succeeded in ensuring a level playing field for all of an entire generation of children who probably would not have known what the 4 walls of classrooms look like. Today, all those children have become accomplished professionals, one of them standing here today humbly, and have become leaders on all of our shores of human endeavor on account of the educational opportunity made available by Baba Kekere, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande. In the housing sector, many low-income earners became proud owners of apartments because of his administration's mass housing policy and pocket-friendly payment system. I think it's appropriate to quickly run through some of his outstanding achievements for the sake of the young people amongst us today, who might not be so familiar with history and the legacy that he has bequeathed to us. We have Baba Kekere to thank for the establishment of the following: the Lagos State Television, the first state-owned television station in the country; the Lagos State Radio Service; the Lagos State University, water works at Shasha, Agege, Shomolu, Apapa, Badagry, and Aguda. Housing estates at Iba, Isolo, Iponri, Ejigbo, and a lot of others. The Lagos State Secretariat at Alausa, Ikeja, and the very famous Lagos Metro Rail project, which people have adduced to today, that he laid the foundation to build a metro rail for Lagos. But I can assure all of us here today, and the memory of Alhaji Kayode Jakande, that the rail projects that he conceived 38 years ago, maybe not on the same alignment, but this current government will ensure that within the next 1.5 years, the Blue Line rail project that we see outside here will become available for the masses of Lagos. The Red Line from Agbado to Ebutemeta, which is just here, will be available for our citizens, which will be part of our own modest deliverable and to the memory of Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande. Baba was a transformational leader who led by example. His commitment and dedication to building the greater Lagos of our dream, a Lagos that works for all, was certainly unequaled and unrivaled. He served the people with all his heart and never saw his position as a route for personal enrichment. He demystified public service through his simple and Spartan lifestyle. I took a quote out of his speech at his second year swearing in on October 1st, 1983. And I quote, "For this reason, I have rededicated myself anew of the service of the people of Lagos State, from dawn to dusk and from dusk to dawn, in any human condition or circumstance whatsoever. I shall devote my life to the selfless and impeccable service of all of who inhabitants of this state. Nothing on God's nothing on God's heart will deter me at any time from seeking the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. This is my mission." End of quote. I stand in front of good people of Lagos here that my personal motto is taken from the script that I've just read out of Alhaji Jakande's speech in 1983, which is that I will continue to ensure that the greatest good is for the greatest number in Lagos State. That is my solemn promise that I'm taking away from what Alhaji Jakande stood for. And on a lighter note, he likes Tom Tom, I like Tom Tom as well. Alhaji sets a standard that successful administration will continue to strive to live up to and maintain. I can say without any fear of contradiction that Baba died a happy man and a fulfilled man because he was able to witness the progress that successful administration, especially civilian government, made with regards to actualizing the Lagos of his dream, a Lagos where all citizens are catered for, regardless of your social or economic class, your ethnic origin, or your religious outlook. As I said in my tribute at the time of his passing, the highest honor we can indeed pay to him is to continue to strive to live up to his leadership ideals and to deliver the full dividend of democracy to the people of Lagos State. This we will do across all strata under our own economic agenda, which we have christened the team's agenda. Baba lived on a 4 cardinal principle. We are living and are guided by a 6 pillar of agenda. I want to encourage our mother, the chief mourner, Her Excellency Alaja Jakande, and the children, that whoever is with God is with all. Baba made it possible for a lot of us to stand here today, having been part of the legacy that he built. And I want all of you to live with your shoulders high, with your eyes up, and know that indeed your father, your grandfather, your husband has been a man that has left an indelible mark in the sign of time. And generations that are coming will find it difficult to upturn. I want to say to you that indeed, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande is an epitome for what all of us are standing for today. It is difficult to pass on anything in the name of Alhaji Jakande, because whilst he was alive, everything around this state has the emblem of Jakande in it. Do we want to begin to rekindle schools? Do we want to begin to rename hospitals? Or do we want to begin to rename housing estates that are already Jakande by nature? So to immortalize Alhaji Jakande is an everyday activity for us as a government. But for me, is to say that we're going to set up an endowment that is going to be called the Lateef Kayode Jakande Leadership Fellowship Academy. This is what we believe that the transformational leadership that Alhaji Jakande stood for, that indeed we can create leaders of tomorrow on a year-on-year basis, have 20, 30 leaders that can stand and live the spirit and the aspiration of Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande. And that will be backed up by the enabling act, by the enabling law, and will give it a teeth that generations that are coming behind us will not be able to reverse. Alhaji Jakande was many things to many people. To some, it was Baba Kekere. To some, like our fathers have said, he was a good listener, a build bridger, a man that created time for the poor amongst us. To some, he was the man that created the opportunity for them to be who they are today. I so want to grant that may Almighty Allah grant him Al-Jannah Fudao. Adio, Baba Kekere. We will miss you, but humanity will remember you for decades and decades to come. Adio, Alhaji Lateef Kayode Jakande. Thank you very much.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà wa fún ọ̀rọ̀.
All right, the governor of Lagos State there saying, paying his own tribute to Jakande, saying that the real essence of power is for the advancement of the people. That's what Jakande stood for. He'll be remembered for the Lagos State Television, Lagos State University, Lagos State Radio, Lagos State at Alaus, that secretariat that is still existing today. It was Jakande that built it. And of course, he started the Lagos Rail project, which the governor has promised to finish in memory of the late Lateef Kayode Jakande.
Indeed. Well, he described him as a selfless leader, a rare gem, a quintessential leader as well, who did greatest good for the greatest number of people. And in honor of late Alhaji Lateef Jakande, the Lagos State government has set up an endowment to be named the Lateef Jakande Leadership Fellowship Academy.